Hey folks, I'm Sir Vainglory, and welcome to part 11 of my campaign in Graviteam Tactics on the Luga line. So Graviteam Tactics me as front with the Raging Bridgehead DLC, and we have here two battles combined. So we have the 2nd Battalion from the 1st Motorised Infantry Regiment. It's meant to be attacking more up towards Vyazov, and a reinforced company from the 1st Panzer Regiment attacking towards Slepino, but it's combined both attacks. So I'm just looking, we've got the 1st Motorised Infantry Regiment is reinforcing the 1st Panzer Regiment along with these engineers, and anti-tank guns that aren't included. And it was the 6th, the 7th, and I think this here is the 8th motorised companies from the Motorised Infantry Regiment. Although having said that, so I think we moved this company and this company up from reserve. Yeah, so there's the arrow there, and the other moved up there. So yeah, this is meant to be part of, this is the other part of this 2nd Battalion. Anyway, figured all that out. Let's go ahead and get on with the deployment. We're going to have a fair number of units to set up here, so I'm not going to record all of the deployment. We'll have a look over the battle map, although we've probably seen a lot of it before, and then deploy the units for the most part off camera. So if you've watched the previous battles, you'll be familiar with this. We did attack up here before, and we advanced as far as Slepino. I don't think we took the village. We didn't push on into it. We just came up about as far as this. But obviously we weren't able to hold that terrain. So if we check out our map, so this is our 1st Tank Regiment, 1st Panzer Regiment, advancing up there. And it looks like these guys here were just manoeuvring, so they're not actually attacking. So are they arrived? Normally when they're in line like this, it does mean they're arrived. So that mans, yes. No, you're ready, okay. And Buchbaum, with what's left of your Panzer IIs, you're ready as well. Okay, so you're not in column of march. Good. So what we're going to do, I would like to go up, I meant to check this, we can't take that sector, only these. Still, we've got the tanks, so I would want to advance up here if we can. If we can't take the territory, then we just try and wipe out as many of the defenders as possible. So I think we will have the Motorised Infantry Regiment and its tank company move up there. But obviously the main attack's meant to be taking place over here. And familiar with the terrain, it does slope up from here. And Slepino wasn't that strongly held. It did have some anti-tank units over here that we dealt with. I'm wondering what lies beyond though. Not very much. I wonder if they hold Mishkino. And so it's the same sort of position as before. It came up to about here, but I didn't want to advance too far and leave the tanks exposed. Yeah, and there's that high ground, or slightly high ground here that masks what lies beyond. But I'm thinking that if there are units up right on the edge there, they might Yeah, they will have line of sight in here. Right, but for the most part we're likely to encounter, or we should be encountering enemy in around here. So we have, here are engineers arriving for the first time, and Aaron's, what's left in your companies, or in your platoons I should say, not very much for Sturm. Kupfer's not quite as bad. The engineers aren't mounted now. Right, I thought what I think we'll do is have our tanks down here on Overwatch. So, or some of them. We'll push some tanks forward. And we'll have the engineers advance up towards the forest there. And again, probably with some tanks on Overwatch there too. And tanks over here under Leidecker. And you get some Panzer IIs. Well, they're going to have to lead the advance over here then. Let's pull these folks back for now. And if you're in there, what's your line of sight like? Yeah, it was fine. And if we have, in fact, you've got the Panzer IVs. So if the Panzer IVs started back here, yeah, they've got perfect vision too. So let's just double check. Yeah, I can live with that. Okay. So we'll leave the Panzer IVs there in Overwatch. Panzer IIs can lead the advance. And these platoons, they've both got one damaged tank. Well, I think we'll leave Langeneck back in here. Presumably, if you did sit there, yeah, you get decent enough vision. We'll have one Panzer there as well. Or do I want that? Do I want them just all in here? What's your ammo supply like, actually? It looks still fairly decent. 11 armor piercing. You have 45 high explosive. So what is that? Composite rounds? 4. I don't think we're going to come up against any Soviet armour. We've not seen any signs of anything other than light tanks so far. And that leaves Patch. We'll have you back here in reserve for now. Leidecker. I think we'll actually have you somewhere up here. Okay, so they'll cover the advance of the engineers. We're going to put our motorised infantry in here, and they will. Do I want? Yeah. So I want that platoon of Panzer IIIs to advance as well. We'll have the motorised infantry advance along with these guys. Arons, yep, you're on a half track. There's a view in there. Sturm. We'll have you back here. And you have how much ammo? Okay, looks like you're well enough supplied. I was thinking about here, but that's masked completely from, well, you're supposed to be covering the advance up towards Slepino itself. So, yeah, let's have you in here somewhere. Is that okay? Nope, it's terrible. It's not any good either. Oh well, out in the open it'll have to be. But you're far enough back, you should be okay. Half tracks. Yeah, your height lets you see there fine. I think we'll have another over here. You can go in there. You can be across here. And the Blitz. Keep back in there. So I think that's everybody there. Yep. Okay, so I think I'll have a quick look over to our right flank and then I'll complete this setup off camera. But over here, I also need to come up to the edge of the trees here, and we're already close to the farmstead. But we do have all this open terrain here, which is a blessing and a curse because half of what we're covering in the first part of our move is open ground before we see the enemy. So I think we'll probably do something similar in here. Kolb, if you were to sit there. Yeah, that's what I thought. You don't get great vision at all because of these felled trees. Okay, so we could have you there, and you in there is okay. That's not particularly okay. Settle for that. And Mans. I think we'd probably want you to advance up here. So we will start with you on the road, just in case you're mobile. Everyone else lined up in behind. Buchbaum with your few Panzer IIs. Yeah, not great. Let's actually have you here. I'll put the damaged Panzers up there. Because again, I don't know if they're mobile or not. And Buchwald. We'll have you just begin somewhere around here. In between the two platoons. Yeah, So we'll have the infantry advance up through the woods here, supported initially by the whatever Panzer IIs we can manage, and then bring up the Panzer IIIs. The other platoon will stay over there, provide overwatch on these woods. And a second company from the 1st Battalion. You're supposed to be back in reserve. I wasn't planning for you to be in the fight, so I'll probably keep you out of the fight then. Here's the 6th Motorised Infantry Regiment, so you will be going forward. And Han. Right, okay. So Schaefer, your company will move up the right flank there. Scheiber will move up through these woods with a pincer movement to take the farmstead and the barn. And over here we'll focus on advancing up this left side of the marshes, clear that forest, and then hopefully end up grabbing Slepino. What do we have in the way of artillery? Check up here. So 2 mortars, 4 105s, 6 mortars, another 4 105s. Is any of that? Yeah, you're the. Again, I don't want to use these guys. Yeah, you're fine to use. You're part of the attack. Reiter and Hirsch. Right, okay. So we'll leave these guys out for now. And we'll plot fire for the rest. So let's get on, get this deployment finished, and I will see you guys for the battle.